Hooman Khalili joins us now from San Francisco. Hooman, thank you very much. We've got some folks. Talk to us about what you're doing. It's a fascinating project. We haven't dealt a lot with the humanitarian side here in the war room. We've been very focused on kind of the geopolitics, the economics of it all, and what's actually happened, how this thing's going to play out. But you've got a project, and you're going to be at CPAC next week to unfurl it. Talk to us about your project. Okay, we have to take him off mute.
Take two. Okay. Steve, thank you so much for having me. It's
yeah,
a real honor.
Hang on. Let's take it from the top. Go ahead.
Steve, thank you so much for having me. It's a real honor to be here. I'm the only artist in the world asked by the state of Israel to make murals in support of the women of Iran. I was born Muslim. I'm a Christian now, and I was raised in the San Francisco Bay Area. I did 17 trips in 21 months, and I unveiled 18 woman life freedom murals in the Holy Land. These murals show the world that Israel is the only country in the Middle East that allows a mural with a woman's hair to be shown. All right, well, I guess we're going to get to the slides right now. In Iran, if a woman shows her hair, the supreme leader said she's making war on God. And when you say the words war on God, you are saying you can do anything you want to that woman. So obviously shooting him in the head is the most obvious choice. But one of the things the Islamic regime does is they'll take a gun and they'll shoot out one of the eyes of a woman who shows her hair. This woman here, her name is Ghazal, and they shot out her eye. And so I wanted the world to see this, but I'm making art. You know, I'm an artist. So how do I turn this into something beautiful? If you show the next slide here, this is a mural that I made in Netanya. I worked with an artist named Benzi Brofman who took my design and brought it to life. The bird covering her eye is the hoopoe. It's mentioned in the book of Leviticus to show that, hey, this woman lost an eye. And just to show the world, hey, this is the brutality of the Islamic regime towards its own people. If they're this brutal to their own people, how brutal are they going to be to the rest of the world? If we could go to the next slide. This is President Raisi, the former president of Iran. This man is responsible for killing 20,000 of his own people, 20,000, many of them women, for showing their hair. His helicopter mysteriously crashed in the Alborz Mountains. If we go to the next slide, this is all of the women he killed using their hair to pull down his helicopter. Now, in this design here, there's a Bible verse, Jeremiah 49:38. In the Bible, there's a theme, and the theme is God says over and over again, I'm going to put my throne in Jerusalem. I'm going to put my throne in Zion. I'm going to put my throne in Israel. But in Jeremiah 49:38, God says, I'm going to set my throne in Elam and destroy her king and officials, declares the Lord. Well, Elam is the ancient name of Iran. And to fulfill that Bible verse, I put in the hand of God. Like God is destroying the kings and officials of Iran.
Yeah.
If you go to the next slide.
So hang over a second. Hang on for 4 more slides. I want to make sure the audience that we frame this properly. You're actually Persian, correct? I mean, your family or your mom left when the Shah fell?
Yeah, so I was born in Iran. My mom escaped with one suitcase, $5,000, 3-year-old boy in 1978, 6 months before the Shah fell. That's exactly right.
As much as this may, confront us as Westerners, is there, because right now you have not seen any real uprising. I mean, one of the I don't want to call it bets, but one of the premises, I think, of a lot of the initial military action. And you just had Netanyahu on national TV in Israel the other day, although I don't know if his message resonates in Tehran much, but he called for an uprising in the streets. We haven't seen nearly the uprising we saw about a month ago in late January, where 20 or 30,000 were killed. But it is because of the bombing. Has this become more of a Persian nationalist, and that all of the obviously crimes against the Iranian people, as you show in your art, and particularly against women, focus a lot of it on women. Is that really moving people right now, or are they kind of dug in supporting the regime?
No. So I think one of the things we have to agree upon is in Iran, only the bad guys have guns. And so you have 2 million people with guns holding down 90 million people. This whole idea of the people rising up, it is possible and they can rise up. But the people of Iran need to be armed. If we can show the next slide, let me show you the mural that I just unveiled in Indiana across the street
Okay,
from where
sure.
the Indianapolis Colts play. If you have that slide
Yep.
ready, this woman's name is Nika Shakarami. She was killed at 15 years old. I just want you to see what she looks like in real life. Now, show the mural, the next slide. Here is her holding an AK-47 with a flag behind her. And the flag says President Trump armed the women of Iran. The Americans have armed women in the past. They do it in Syria, right? To hold back ISIS. They armed the Kurdish women there. And so in here you see Esthers rise up. This whole idea of the Esthers rising up. So this whole idea of, yes, the people can rise up, but give them a chance to defend themselves. Give them some sort of weapons, because right now it's not a fair fight. And I know you said 20 or 30,000 were killed, but honestly, all of us Persians know it's 50,000 plus were killed in 3 days in Iran. This is a massacre. And the reason is because the bad guys, the Islamic regime of Iran, they all have guns and the people don't, and they're getting slaughtered for protesting peacefully. And what these murals do is they give a voice to the people who have no voice. It lets them see that they are not forgotten. Oh, go ahead, please.
Right. So no, are you calling for now? Is that the purpose of the murals, is to make sure people understand that there are freedom fighters? There are, let me say it a different way. There are people that adamantly oppose the Islamic theocracy. They've lived under it for 47 years and they're prepared to act. But you're saying that they need arms, that somehow either the Israelis or the Americans somehow have to get a massive amount of arms into Iran so that they can,
I think that would make a huge difference.
at least have somewhat near a fair fight.
Look, I'm not pro-war. I'm not a guy who wants I'm an American. I love this country. I don't want American troops on the ground either. But the only way for this to be balanced, for this to be fair, is, yeah, give the people. America's armed people throughout history. And so, yeah, give them a chance. Give them a chance to fight and defend themselves. Since this uprising, what have the people done? They've burned down mosques. They've said, we don't want this religion in our country anymore, you know? And I'm not advocating for war. I'm not advocating for death, anything like that. But all I'm saying is strength through defense. Let this be the movement, strength through defense. Give the men and the women a chance to defend themselves. Put a gun in their hand so that maybe, just maybe, they themselves can overthrow the Islamic regime. And I just want to say one last thing.
Do you see any,
Oh,
hang
please.
on, slow down. Do you see any chance, as you know, people and cousins and other relatives in Tehran, in Persia, do you see any chance of us just being able to bomb the Revolutionary Guard or the mullahs or the ayatollahs? Although we've obviously, Pete said we've dramatically injured the replacement, the son of this replacement. You see any? We got about a minute. I'll hold you through the break. Do you see any possibility of this collapsing unless you have either massive arming of the Iranian people to take their fight on, or some sort of ground combat that has to take these guys on mano a mano?
I've heard analysts, even on your show, say this is a battle of attrition. And so it is possible through bombing and blowing up the horrible people at the checkpoints, yes, but it will take a long time. If you arm the people of Iran and you give them a chance to fight back and defend themselves, this could go a lot faster. I don't think America's going to run out of bullets or military power or food or supplies. But I understand from watching your show, Trump likes to have quick wars. He doesn't want anything drawn out. And so, yes, it can happen through, bombing and shooting. But, us Persians are hoping, let's not kill the patient while we remove the cancer. Let's keep the patient alive and remove the cancer at the same time.
Hooman Kalali is an artist. He's going to be at CPAC. He's going to unfurl some of these banners so people can see. You get to meet him and see his work. Here's the question: they have been in Israel and they've been unfurling them there. You've been putting up there. Do the Persian people, the people in Tehran, is that helping your cause of getting the message out to and really get it back to people in Tehran, particularly women, that there are people on your side, or is doing it in Israel look like you're collaborating with one of their tormentors, sir?
Right. So I tried to get these murals up in the UAE and Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Afghanistan, Qatar, and they said absolutely not. You cannot put up a mural with a woman's hair showing. So Israel is the only country that welcomed me. This has nothing to do with collaborating with whoever's terrorizing them. This has to do with letting the people know that they're not forgotten. Their sacrifice is not for nothing. And putting a person's face who's been murdered in Jerusalem or Nazareth or the Sea of Galilee, I mean, it warms their heart. It gives them a hope and a joy that they wouldn't have if that mural wasn't there. The Islamic regime is really upset with these murals. I sent you one last slide. After I did my fourth mural, and I was number 50 or 60 to the game, the Islamic regime unveiled their own mural. And this is in direct response to the murals I made in Israel. And this is a picture of an atomic bomb. And on the atomic bomb, the Islamic regime wrote 400 seconds to Tel Aviv in Hebrew. Now, they hadn't done anything like this until 4 murals went up in Israel. And so these murals provoke a response out of them. And, look, none of us want a war, but unless you root out what's happening with the Islamic regime of Iran, they're going to come back, and they're going to come back even stronger. And I want to say a sincere thank you to the fine people at Patriot Mobile, especially the COO, Jenny, because she sees what the women of Iran are dealing with, and she's empathizing with them. And she's saying, we at our company stand with those women. We do not want what's happening there to come here. And none of us Persians do. One of the things you have seen on social media is every Iranian who didn't vote for Trump coming online and saying, thank you, Donald Trump. Thank you for freeing our people. Thank you for killing the Ayatollah. You have more Republican Persians as a result of this, and they are using their platforms to amplify their joy and their thanks of Donald Trump.
Let me ask you, I just want to make sure I got this. You went to our great allies, UAE and Qatar, and both of those turned you down for putting up any banners that showed women showing their hair?
That's exactly right. And if you can look, if you have access to these places and you say, hey, I want this kid to put a Woman Life Freedom mural in your country, I will do it. Because my goal right now is college campuses. I want these murals on all the college. I got one up at Rice University. I want it up at Columbia, Harvard, MIT, Penn, Stanford. I want to cover this country. If I have access to the federal land and I can get a mural in Dearborn, Michigan, I will go to Dearborn, Michigan and say, these are the modern day real life superheroes. These women of Iran who have the guts to show their hair, even though they're going to get their eyes shot out, even though they're going to get raped in prison, even though they're going to get shot in the head.
Hooman, where do people go to find out more about your art, more about you, more about your crusade here to make sure that this is shown all over the world, sir?
Yes. So I have a website. It's Hooman.tv. I'm also on Instagram. It's Hooman TV, my name with the television at the end. I'll even give you my email, tvhooman@outlook.com. And like Steve said, I will be at CPAC, hopefully right next to his booth with a new banner. And, I'm going to have a camera crew there, and I'm going to interview you fine folks and say, what do you think? Should we be arming the women of Iran? Should we give them a chance to defend themselves?
We really want to thank Patriot Mobile, particularly Jenny Story, for getting it back of this and making it available to us. So really appreciate it, Hooman, and we look forward to seeing you at CPAC in a couple of weeks.
Thanks so much, Steve.